joining us today. Today I'm joined by Denise Lonis, President and founder of the Lonis Group. She's here today to talk about our new and exciting product, the BusinessBlueprintCenter. Denise, I'm just so excited about this product. Can you tell me why would an agent need to incorporate this into their business?
Well, Sean, I'm thrilled to be able to talk about this program today. And, over the years I've just learned with agents that whether it was when I was selling real estate myself, whether it was when I was managing an office and helping my agents to sell more real estate, it was so critically important because each of them was so different, and I was different, that we really looked at them individually. And one of the ways that we did this was by doing an analysis of their business. And, I found that every different agent worked a little bit different. They all had a different style. They each had different strengths and weaknesses and talents and gifts. And what was really interesting to me was just how different each agent was, but yet some were so successful and others weren't as successful. And trying to find that common denominator was really difficult. And what I have learned over the years is that when an agent can find their fit, when an agent can run their business in a way that's complementary to their personality, their styles, their strengths and weaknesses, they have a far better chance of being successful. The other thing that I have done over the years is I've put together an analysis that has actually helped to identify different strengths and weaknesses in an agent's business. So, for example, some are fantastic with follow-up, some are terrific with lead generation, and others are terrible at those things. And the real issue is that each person is so different and so unique, and by using an analysis, what we do is we get to the real issue, which is what do you do really well? What is it that you avoided, that you struggle with, and how can we find a way to take the areas that you're struggling in and to find a way to fix that in your business in a way that's complementary to your style? And how we do that is, of course, with this business analysis, and I'm so excited to share this analysis because we look at 30 different categories and areas within an agent's business, and the agent can go in and complete the analysis, and at the end they're going to get a very in-depth report on every single section, and that's going to help to give them a really good idea about what is going on for them in their business. The other thing that is really important is every agent has a unique personality. So we also do an in-depth personality assessment. This is critical because everyone's personality has different strengths, weaknesses, and tendencies. I already know that if I'm dealing with, let's say, an analytical personality type, that they're not going to like a certain type of lead generation. So why would we ever create a program for them to use that kind of lead generation when we can simply use the strengths of their personality and customize a lead generation program for them that's going to work? So it's really important that we create a custom plan for them.
Wow, it sounds like you've really got some good, unique planning tools. And it looks like you sum it up here in your Don't Be a Drone, Create Your Unique Action Plan video. That's fantastic. I think it's really important that agents really think outside the box when it comes to creating an action plan. It's not necessarily what the agent down the hall is doing or maybe even the agent that's sharing your office with you. It really is about creating something that's unique just for you. So let's go ahead and talk about now taking your unique strengths and weaknesses and actually creating some goals.
Well, I think that, when it comes to agents and goal setting, I think it's really important that they look at the big picture. They have to look at the vision of, why are they in this industry? Why are they selling real estate? What goals do they have? I think you got to look more big picture. And by looking at your vision and by setting realistic goals, and the other thing that we believe in is that, a goal is one thing, but just setting a goal is not the same thing as creating an action plan around that. So if you want to get results in your business, you have to take any goal that you are trying to achieve and you have to make very realistic action steps in order to accomplish that and in order to make it happen. So, a lot of people talk about goal planning, and I will ask someone, what are your goals? And they'll say, well, my goal is to make, $500,000 in gross commission next year. And I'll say, okay, that's terrific. Well, how are you going to do that? And they kind of stumble, and they're like, well, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. Well, for us, we have to start at that number, whether it's $500,000 an agent wants to make $100,000, whether it's just an agent that says, I want to have more quality of life, or I want to do a better job for my clients. You have to start with the end in mind. So you really have to step back and look at what that big picture is. Then you have to bring it down to every single unique step. What are those steps? What is the action step that you're going to take in order to make that happen? And usually it's a series of very consistent steps. The other thing I tell agents is that they have to learn that they've got to manage their tasks and not their time. The reason that they're not reaching these goals is because they make a goal and they say, okay, my goal is to make this amount of money and I want to make it in, this upcoming year. What they're not doing is they're not managing the tasks, the action steps that will make that goal happen. And one of the things I learned a long time ago is that there's no such thing as time management in real estate. And the reason there isn't is because you could get up in the morning and have your day planned out perfectly, and all of a sudden, before you know it, your whole day has changed because one client has called you and needs something urgently. So what I get agents to do is I get them to create their action plan based on their goals and what they're trying to achieve. So for example, if you are trying to create, for example, a very, very effective follow-up program, rather than say something like, well, I want to do great follow-up and I want to put together a follow-up program, it's going to be based on a task. So the task might be every month I'll be sending out this newsletter or this report, or it could be a quarterly report, but every month there's a different task. So when you go to work now, you are not just working based on time. You're a task-based agent, not just a time-based agent. And the reason that's important is because in planning your time off, and everything that you do, because time is such an important factor in real estate, you get more time when you're running your business using task management, not time management, because time will change. And if all of a sudden you've got 4 things that you're wanting to do this week, but the week is busy, you've got clients that take up that time, now the week is over, and now you're going to your calendar, which then dictates, okay, it's a new week, it's new projects to do. We don't do it like that. We get you to manage your tasks, have a list of tasks that you need to get done. So in any given month, you may have some tasks to do, but they're not dependent on a particular time. It's just dependent on you getting that done. So that's really, really important.
Fantastic. Now, I know that there's a skill to actually taking those tasks and actually creating that weekly plan and a goal for getting those done. Can you tell us a little bit about the Dinosaur book and how you developed it and how an agent can incorporate that into their business?
Well, the Dinosaur book is just a funny little term that we use for a good old-fashioned task management system. And, every person is different. Some people like the good old-fashioned way of planning their tasks. Some people love things that are electronic, and they have their iPhones, and they've got all of their electronic devices, and that's terrific. But what I have seen over the years is that agents that tend to do extremely well with their task management are agents that write it down and get it down. I've developed something called the Dinosaur book. I've been using it for decades now. It works very, very effectively. It is a way that you can manage everything in your business, from the tasks that you have to do, to the appointments that you have, to the calls that you need to answer, to the emails. And what happens is we have all these different things that come up, and we need an organizational system and center to have all those things in one place. So the Dinosaur book gives you an outlet to have that. And basically you are looking now at a book that has got all of these things in it. So any calls that you have to make that day, any appointments that you've got, they're all there. Now some people like that done electronically, and that's fantastic. You can still do that. The Dinosaur book also really visually puts at your forefront and shows you whether or not you're procrastinating about certain things. And the Dinosaur book I talk a lot more about in the program, so I'm going to be really excited to have you hear more about that. One of the most important things that I also get agents to focus on for their task management is something called the Hour of Power. And the Hour of Power is a time that you take every day just to get your tasks done and your projects done. I do my Hour of Power every day. I don't do it on the weekend, but every day I take my hour, and that hour is for me to focus on projects and tasks. And maybe I'm writing articles, or maybe I'm doing certain projects within my business. It is not a time for me to return phone calls. It is not a time for me to work on anything online, no email. So it really is a time of getting my business organized and together. And I have to tell you that those agents that can implement an Hour of Power in their business just do better. They make more money because they're clear, they're focused, they know what they have to do. And it's like writing a new plan every day. It's like giving you a roadmap You know exactly where you need to go, what stops you're going to take along the way. So it's very, very effective.
Fantastic. Now, Denise, we are actually giving these guys 2 free months of Club Zebra as well. And I am just so thrilled about this because this is really an amazing resource to have when you're developing your plan and your goals, because we offer advice in there, everything from developing a lead generation system to working with money. Anything that you think you need to focus on in your business, we've got the resources in there to help you make your plan.
Well, I want to just talk a little bit about why I created Club Zebra. And really, Club Zebra was created because I've got so many clients that really are very, very visual, and they need to see things. They need to get an idea of different tools. So perhaps maybe you're going on a listing presentation. You want to get some ideas of what are other people doing. So there's an area in there called the Vault that's got examples and samples of every possible tool you could ever need in your real estate business. Let's imagine that a property just pended, and you're wondering, what do I do from the pending to closing phase of this transaction? Well, you go in and you can see some of the tools that we've got in there, and this is available. We've got videos in there. We've got tools in there. We've got downloadable documents in there. We've got samples in there. What we were trying to do when we created Club Zebra was to create a resource center that would answer questions, supply skill building for agents, and give them solutions in their business and ideas and ways to make more money. And the Club Zebra tools, the Vault, all those things in there really, really help. In addition, a lot of my clients don't have time to research and write articles, so we have written articles in there that they can send out to their clients. So it's just a really great resource and a great way for them to take their business to the next level by seeing what the best of the best in the business are doing that's effective working in real estate right now. It gives them ideas and it gives them something to work towards. So I'm just so excited about this, and I'm just so thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to share it with everyone.